Very good.
Let's get out of here. So, people often wonder how I can get up every morning at 5:30, and I guess, just that. How do I even do that? And it definitely wasn't that I was a morning person. Like, growing up, I was a teenager that slept in as long as I possibly could. And then even as an adult, like in my early 20s, I was the same. I'd still sleep in whenever I could. Before I had kids, on the weekend, sleep in. It wasn't until I was always throughout, since I was 20, been someone who goes to the gym. I got quite overweight when I was about 19 through to 20. And when I was 20, something, just snapped, and I was like, I gotta lose the weight. And so I started, as well as calorie counting, which actually lost the weight, I started going to the gym because I wanted to look good as well. And the gym was always something I took really seriously, and it wasn't until I was in the workforce where I was still going to the gym in the afternoons, because of course I wasn't getting up early. I was getting up as late as I possibly could, then going to work, and then hanging out to go to the gym right after work. But the problem was, there's always a ton of stuff that seems to come up after work, whether that's you have to work late, somebody invites you for a drink, you've got some kind of event on after work, and all those things kept getting in the way. And I remember the amount of annoyance I'd get when I was due to finish work at 5 p.m. and then somebody would come out, I just could have a quick chat about blah, or like, we've got a late meeting, and it's like, great, now it's going to be delayed, I'm not going to finish till 5:30, that means I'm not going to get into the gym until 6:30, and then it just bumps out the night until I'm super late. So I thought, what can I do about this? And the obvious answer to me was, well, I could go to the gym in the morning. And then I kind of reverse calculated, and I'm like, that means I'm going to have to be at the gym at like 6 o'clock, finish by 7, so I could then, get home, get ready, travel to work, that kind of thing. And I always tell people, I was like, well, there's never anything comes up at 6 in the morning. It is always free. So I knew if I wanted to keep being really serious and committed to the gym, that getting up in the morning was the only way to do it. And so essentially, this was when I was kind of in my mid-20s. I'm now 35. And so I just, the first few days are kind of tough. You just got to get up. And by the end of the day, you're quite tired, so you end up having to go to bed earlier, which in turn, because you went to bed earlier, helps you get up early. But I think people go at it the other way. They're like, I'll go to bed early the first time, so I can then get up early. But it's like, your body's not trained to go to bed early. You're just going to sit there for 2 hours staring at the roof. But I think the main secret to why I can do it is because I'm going to the gym, and because in my mind the gym is a non-negotiable. There is no part of me on any single morning where I'm like, maybe I could not go to the gym today. I try to explain it like, if you had a flight to catch, and the flight, you had to get up for the flight at 5 a.m. to make it to the airport. There's no part of you, right, that would be, the alarm would go off and you'd be like, maybe I'll just skip my flight today. Like you would just not do that. That's never an option. And that's how it is for the gym for me. When the alarm goes off, there's no part of me where I'm like, oh, maybe I could just not go today. Because it's like, what do you mean I wouldn't go today? This is a serious part of my life, of what I do. And it takes time to kind of train your mindset, because it's not like I was superhuman and could just flip that switch on at the start. Right at the start, there were plenty of times where I was like, oh, I'm pretty tired. Maybe I could like push this day to tomorrow, and then, go on the weekend or whatever it is. But those first few times, like if the gym is serious enough for you, you eventually train yourself until it's non-negotiable. So on that note, just pulled up to the gym. Something I want to remind myself when I go to these sessions is these sessions are only an hour long, and there's no point in putting in all this effort, getting up early, arriving at the gym, to then just like phone in a workout. I want to get in there and work out as hard as I possibly can. It's not even an hour. It ends up being like 45 minutes. But if I just go in and half-ass it, there's no result. So I need a push. So I'm going in, I'm going to push myself, and then we'll come back and I'll keep ranting about how to get up in the morning. Let's do it. We are ready to go. So, just finished the session, went really well. So let's pick up where I left off. So, I was talking about how to make it non-negotiable. Now, this leads me back to, and I didn't even realise this is where I was going at the start, but this leads me back to tracking performance. So this is what I tell people, is the key to going to the gym. And it sounds so simple and so unimportant that people are like, oh yeah, and they don't do it, and then they quit the gym a few weeks later. And the time I've been going over these last kind of 15 years, I've seen people I know start at the gym, then stop. And then a month later start at the gym and then stop. The amount of like Facebook posts and Instagram posts about, oh yeah, this time I'm going to the gym and blah, blah, blah. And it's just infuriating, because if they did this one thing, they wouldn't quit in the first place. So the key to the gym, and the key to sticking with anything, is tracking your progress. I want to let that sink in a little bit. And I know that none of you do it. And none of the people who quit anyway are doing it. Every workout you track the exercises you do in the same order every time. You check the number of reps, or you track the number of reps and weight you do every single time. The reason this is key, it's not so later you can look at some graph and be like, oh, that's cool. It's so that you go in this week and you do like 10 reps at 60 kg on the bench press. And next week you come in to do your same chest workout again. You open your app or your notebook or whatever it is, and you go, what did I do last time? And you're like, okay, I did 10 reps at 60 kg. Well, today I'm going to do 10 reps at 62.5 kg. And then you do that and you track it. And then the next week you come back and you go, what did I do? 62.5. All right, I'm going to do 65 kg this time. And it sounds super simple to do, right? But people don't do it. They think, oh yeah, it's so simple, it's not important. But that's the thing. It's so simple, and it is the most important thing. If I wasn't able to track my workouts, there's no way I would have been able to stick to it this long. because every week, like just now, I'm in there I use an app to track the progress. And I look at last week for every single exercise and every single set. So I'm like, oh, on the third set of this exercise last time, I did X, Y, Z. So now I'm going to do X plus 2.5 kg and see how many reps I can get. And that is the key, progress. And when you get progress, you get the discipline and the motivation to keep going. So it's a bit of a tangent, but it's the same with investing as well, or a savings goal, so your personal finances. If you're not tracking them, and I mean in detail, there's no kind of fun element to it. You're just hoping for the best, and hope is never a strategy. Hope is 100% guaranteeing that you're just going to fail. You need a strategy, and you need to track your progress. So, because of that desire to go to the gym and beat my last week's performance, when the alarm goes off at 5:30, I'm not getting up to do some really boring task that I've got no desire to do. Oh yeah, I get to go up and like empty the rubbish or something. Because I'd definitely hit snooze if that was the thing. Or if I was just getting up to kind of sit around the house just so I can be like, yeah, I get up at 5:30. No, the reason I get up is because I really enjoy the activity I'm about to do. And maybe that's not the gym for you. Maybe that's going for a run, or maybe it's not even exercise. Maybe you really enjoy like reading books or something like that, and you never get the time to do it. And you could get up at 5:30 or whatever time is early for you. Get up, make a coffee, read an exciting book. Now think of like a really exciting book you've read that you find it hard to put down. Now imagine you're waking up at 5:30 for the goal of reading that. Can you see that's the secret? So I wasn't intending on doing a morning routine rant this morning, but there you have it. So I'm getting back home now. It's about 7:20, and my boys are about to get up. My wife will be about to get up, and that's the other aspect to it. If you've got kids, this is kind of the only time you can go to the gym. If you want to go to the gym, the morning. Don't go to the gym at night. It just gets you real jacked up, and then you can't sleep, and then because you don't sleep well, you wake up the next day feeling crap, and that leads to a cycle where you eventually stop going to the gym. Whereas getting up in the morning, you can do it. You can do your session, you can get home, you can live your day, and then you have a desire to go to bed early because you've earned your sleep. So today I'm going to be working on some high leverage B2B activities, which is really exciting. So on that note, get after it.